A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. When Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea in the days of King Herod, behold, Magi from the east arrived in Jerusalem, saying, "Where is the newborn King of the Jews? We saw his star at its rising and have come to do him homage." When King Herod heard this, he was greatly troubled, and all Jerusalem with him. Assembling all the chief priests and the scribes of the people, he inquired of them where the Christ was to be born. They said to him, "In Bethlehem of Judea, for thus it has been written through the prophet, 'And you, Bethlehem, land of Judah, are by no means least among the rulers of Judah, since from you shall come a ruler who is to shepherd my people Israel.'" Then Herod called the Magi secretly and ascertained from them the time of the star's appearance. He sent them to Bethlehem and said, "Go and search diligently for the child. When you have found him, bring me word, that I too may go and do him homage." After their audience with the king, they set out. And behold, the star that they had seen at its rising preceded them until it came and stopped over the place where the child was. They were overjoyed at seeing the star, and on entering the house they saw the child with Mary his mother. They prostrated themselves and did him homage. Then they opened their treasures and offered him gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. And having been warned in a dream not to return to Herod, they departed for their country by another way. The Gospel of the Lord. The people of the Old Testament asked many questions of Yahweh God. Two of the most common had to do with the Messiah. First, what will be the sign of his coming? And second, to whom will he come? Isaiah answers both questions in this morning's first reading. The sign will be a light in the darkness, a light that will allow people to see, even people living under a thick cloud of sin and gloom. As to the second question, this sign will be given to all people. "Nations shall walk by your light," we heard. And there were towns and places like Ephah, Sheba, and Midian mentioned. They shall all gather and come. Our response psalm this morning confirms the universality of that call. More names: Tarshish, the Isles, Arabia, all nations included. But special mention is given to the lowly, the poor, and the afflicted. The Messiah will come especially for those in any need. That long-awaited light that is a sign of the Messiah in today's gospel is a star bright enough to draw the attention of the Magi. The Magi are described as coming from the east, possibly Persia. Persia was the only known power that was not part of the Roman Empire. Persians ideally represented the rest of the world, all the nations. We call the Magi wise men to distinguish them from the smart men in Jerusalem. These smart men included King Herod, all the chief priests and scribes. They knew all the facts. They were right there in their holy books. Where is the Messiah to be born? The Magi asked. It was right there in the book of the prophets. You, Bethlehem, from you is to come a ruler. These smart men knew all the facts, but they were not wise enough to notice the star, nor did they understand its meaning. But the Magi were wise. They saw the star, followed it, and found their way to Mary, Joseph, and the child Jesus. Thanks to the technology of computers, tablets, and smartphones, we have immense knowledge, information, just a click away at any time. We can easily get all the facts. But do we have a wise phone? Do we realize that we need a light outside of ourselves and our technology to see our way to Jesus, Mary, and Joseph? Do we have the wisdom and courage of the Magi to leave our comfort zone, to make a journey of faith, to find our God's presence in this world at this time? I would like to quote from the Living Word commentary in its reflection on today's scripture. As you listen, please notice that what I have called smart, and speaking of the smart men, the commentary calls crafty.